It is that materials will be at the polling units on time. The polling units will open on time. They should come out en masse. All registered voters should exercise their franchise. For all the beavers that will be used, it will be used to upload the results, ECATA, onto the IREV.
Good afternoon and welcome to Political Update. That is an assurance coming from the resident electoral commissioner of INEC in Ondo State, and she has a lot of responsibility. People of Ondo State will go to the polls tomorrow to elect the governor of the state. But before then, let me take you down on the journey to yesterday. Ondo State, created in 1976. 12 military administrators and 7 civilian governors have ruled the state. It is a state with a rich political history. Only out of the 7 civilian governors, only one, that is Olusegun Mimiko, was able to survive complete 8 years, that is 2 tenure in office. You remember Olusegun Agago served 5 years, and on the 23rd of February 2009, court nullified that election. That was how the issue of off-cycle election came to be in that state. And talk of Rotimi Akeredolu. You remember? He ruled 6 years and 306 days. He passed on. Then we have the current governor. He was the deputy governor to Rotimi, but as constitution demands, after the death of Rotimi Akeredolu, he was sworn in. So tomorrow is another day of history. The people will elect a new governor of the state. And INEC says they are ready. But how prepared is the commission? I have to talk to some persons, especially the Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC, the umbrella body of all political parties. They have been supervising monitoring situation in Ondo State. One of the officials of the council is on the wings to give us their own view and probably advice to the actors, that is the security agencies and INEC, on the journey so far and what they still expect. 2,553,061 voters will go to the poll in 3,933 polling units and 18 local government areas. 17 candidates will be participating in the process. Though during the peace accord, 18 political parties signed. So that is a brief about the state we call Ondo, the political history, the strength of voters, and what we expect to see tomorrow. So welcome to Political Update. My name is Mie Ogede. But let's take a look, the full clip of the resident electoral commissioner's promise on what the people should expect as they go to the polls tomorrow. Let's take a listen at it.
The FCC, the ICPC, they are part of the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security. We have been having collaborations with them. We have had several meetings, and they said they have their own, what they have set up on how to mitigate vote buying and vote selling. My assurance for those states electorate is that materials will be at the polling units on time. The polling units will open on time. They should come out en masse. All registered voters should exercise their franchise. They should come out on time and vote. We promise them this election will be free, it will be fair, it will be credible, it will be transparent, and it will be inclusive. Yes, we are ready. They are going to upload for all the beavers that will be used. It will be used to upload the results, ECATA, onto the IREV. And what we intend to do, they will upload from their polling units. If there's no network where you are, all you need to do is to move to the next place where there is network, and it will be uploaded.
Okay, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has distributed sensitive election materials to the 18 local government areas of Ondo State ahead of the election. Toyin Battery reports that the exercise held at the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN Accra, was monitored by the resident electoral commissioner and representatives of the 18 participating political parties.
The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, received the sensitive election materials at the Central Bank in the presence of key stakeholders. After the handover, the materials were carefully sorted for distribution to each of the 18 local government areas.
The exercise is most furious, easy, and accessible. We are quite impressed because everything is clear.
So far, so good. I think we're still okay with what they're doing.
I'm very happy with it. All resources have been countersigned.
The resident electoral commissioner in Ondo State, Oluwatoyin Babalola, explained that the early distribution of sensitive materials to the local government areas shows the readiness of the electoral body in ensuring a free and fair exercise in the state.
We have difficult terrains. We have on land and we have on water. The difficult terrain on water, they are in Ilaje and Eseodo. And we have identified those areas and we are going to have boats that will transport men and materials. We also have the support of the Navy.
The sensitive materials have since left the central bank to the 18 local government areas of the state.
In the course of the program, we will join our correspondent in Akure to give us a situation report as of this moment. But joining me in the studio is the National Organizing Secretary of the Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC, Ebiola Martins. You are welcome to Political Update.
Yeah, thanks for having me in your studio this afternoon.
Okay. You know, the campaigns are over. We can't delve into issues of political parties anymore, and which candidate is the best and the one that is not. So we strictly limit ourselves to the process. What is your assessment of the process in terms of security arrangements and the measures taken by INEC so far? As the umbrella body of all political parties, what is your assessment?
Okay, I'm speaking from, as a party that has been on ground, because we're in Akure for a period of almost a week, where we actually did a stakeholders engagement. We engaged with relevant stakeholders in the electoral process. We also were there to also sensitize the voters on the need for a peaceful election, the need for them to come out and exercise their franchise. We also interacted with some of the security agencies, their leadership, to also call them on the need to be impartial and provide adequate security for electorates to come out and exercise their franchise. But I can tell you that in terms of build-up to elections in the off-cycle era, I think Ondo State happens to be a state that is giving us this peace of mind, that there will be absolute peace in terms of the election come tomorrow. And it is not connected with the fact that we've interacted with all relevant stakeholders, including cross-section of some of the electorate. And they are all in sync on the need for a peaceful election. And I can assure you that based on our own report, that we're going to see a peaceful election come tomorrow. And of course, even after the election itself, we also expect a post-election environment that is also peaceful.
Okay. Let's talk of the issue of logistics, because late arrival of materials to polling units, and Ondo State. Some parts of Ondo State is really there. Some parts are riverine, and it will take time for maybe 2-3 hours to arrive some of those places, and that may affect the time of commencement of the exercise. So, from your assessment, what will you say about that? Do you think INEC has taken some steps towards that direction? Because probably you were at the town hall meetings that were held in Akure.
Yes, I think that there have been assurances, not only from INEC, but also from security agencies. You know, INEC in itself, the election does not start, the process does not start and end with INEC. There are also some actors that are also involved in the overall electoral process. And those assurances, we are confident, at least to the best of our own understanding. INEC has given us assurances, and from what we saw, and despite the fact that most of our executives left there some few days ago, we still have our state chapter on ground that are actually feeding us with information. And from what we've heard, they are so confident that election materials will get to the polling units as a when it's supposed to get there. However, there's this probably fears that election materials may get to some polling units late. Just as you have said, there are some areas that riverine areas. But however, I think from the feelers we got from the IPAC chapter in Ondo State, INEC has been able to give them 100% assurances that materials will get there and all eligible voters will be allowed to vote.
Okay,
and to us, that is very, very important.
Okay. That is for INEC and probably the police. And one of the critical aspects, political parties, conduct of political party officials, agents, party agents, because definitely there are rules. You don't go with crowd, you don't go with security escorts and all that, because that definitely will affect the polling unit. So what advice will you give to your own political parties, leaders and supporters during the process?
Yes, I mean, it's been our advice. We've always, they've always known they are critical stakeholders in the electoral process. As such, their conduct is very, very important in terms of them, ensuring that they add value to the electoral process in itself. So I can assure you, coming from political parties, that there's a point of convergence in terms of behavior, in terms of also the conduct of their supporters. And so far, so good. There's not been any incidents of violence. At least if we are to look at events that have unfolded leading to tomorrow's election, so far, so good. It's been peaceful. At least I happen to be from the Young Progressives Party. I can tell you that at least I joined my party's rally. There was nothing like intimidation. And I know that some other political parties also that we are aware of actually also conducted themselves.
Yes, the INEC chairman really said the process has been so far very peaceful. I will still come back to it because I'm getting signal from a director that our correspondent in Akure is ready to give us what is really going on in the state. Okay, she is there. If you are ready, please let's hear from you. What is the situation in Akure? Because in less than 12 hours from now, probably we'll be going to the polls. And I guess from the background, is very calm. So what is the situation, the mood in town in Akure, and any other information you want to share with us?
Right now in Akure, there is every presence of security personnel to ensure that there is no breakdown of law and order. And just yesterday, the Independent National Electoral Commission distributed the sensitive materials to the 18 local government areas, and those sensitive materials are to get to the racks latest today. So right now, Akure is peaceful. There is no problem in Akure.
What is the mood? What is the mood of the voters?
Yes, also the voters, they actually look forward to a seamless election. According to them, they are willing to vote on election day. And the Independent National Electoral Commission at a briefing for observers promised that the polls will open at least 8:30 tomorrow. So they actually look forward to a seamless electioneering process that will actually reflect their will.
Okay, in terms of distribution of the materials, we had that report. As of this moment, do you have anything to tell us from the INEC point of view, as in have they distributed the materials as we saw in the clip of yesterday?
Yes, INEC actually said that those riverine areas that are really far, that the sensitive materials will get to them early. But as at yesterday, the 18 local government areas received the sensitive materials, but the sensitive materials are to get to the racks today.
Thank you very much. And I also heard that today is public holiday in Akure, in Ondo State, rather.
Yes, it is. It is a public holiday.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much.
It is actually in preparation for the election.
Yes. Thank you very much, my colleague. I think from the background and what we have gotten from you, there is no cause for alarm, and we pray that the situation remain the same till even after the election. Thank you very much for giving us update on the situation of the state. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah. Okay. Organizing Secretary, we have seen that, and probably that, in line with what you told us. But one other thing about this election process is the issue of transportation, because they are the ones responsible for delivering those election materials. Even in Edo State, just a few weeks back, we had the issue of challenges, delay in those materials getting to the polling units. What advice would you give? Because at the position you are, you can't speak for INEC, but at least you can only advise, and based on experience, so that we don't repeat the same mistake every day, every time.
Okay, yes. You see, if you want things to not, maybe events that are not palatable, not to repeat itself, and the best thing is to do things differently. And so what we expect is that INEC would have learned from some of their errors in the preceding election, not just that of Edo, and subsequent off-cycle elections, and adequately prepare in terms of ensuring that all logistical preparations are intact. Also, there are times that though you planned and unforeseen circumstances, especially some actors who may want to derail the process, will do everything humanly possible to also want to scuttle the process. And I think that is where we have the security agencies to be able to support every logistics that have been put on ground, so that these enemies of progress would also not capitalize on loopholes that are made available to thwart the system. So in all, I believe INEC is adequately prepared on the strength of what we've been told, and we want to believe them, because we also know that they also don't want to fail. They've been doing a lot to add value to the electoral process, and then we believe that they'll continue to evolve and things will continue to get better.
Okay, thank you very much. We will still come back to you, but as political parties are going to the polls, some are also preparing to join the list of political parties, because the Allied Conservative Congress, a political movement, is hopeful of its registration as a political party. National chairman, the Allied Conservative Congress, a political movement, is hopeful of its registration as a political party by the Independent National Electoral Commission. Chairman of the movement reiterated this at a media briefing in Abuja. Let's hear the details from Timothy Yusuf.
Allied Conservative Congress, ACC, on its way to becoming a new political party in Nigeria, was formed after the 2023 general election. It has Nigerians of all political affiliations. The need for improved electoral integrity, political stability, national security, equity and well-being of citizens are its target when registered.
Fellow compatriots who believe in ACC ideology to also join immediately. It is a national movement for peace, unity, stability, equity, security, morality, and prosperity.
The movement believes that to move the country forward, efforts must be in place to promote nation building, adding that the judiciary must also strive at all times to discharge its statutory duties without fear or favor as a temple of justice and the last hope of all aggrieved people, bearing in mind that justice is for all. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
Okay, before we call it a day, let me bring in my guest again, the National Organizing Secretary of the Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC, Mr. Ebola Martins. We just have like 2 minutes to round off. Let's get your final thoughts.
Okay.
So that, you can also go home and prepare for the election.
Okay, this is what I want to say, and this is the message from the Inter-Party Advisory Council Nigeria. There is this palpable fear from our interaction that there will be vote buying. And that is one thing I think we still need to see how we can amend our electoral laws to be able to make it more stringent. So that people will not just believe that with their money they can buy votes and win elections. However, the greater how would I call it, input should come from the electorates themselves. That no amount of money is worth buying their votes. Because yes, once you sell your votes, then you have no moral justification to ask for good governance. And good governance is more important than having people buy your votes, and at the end of the day, you live in fears. There's no security, no education for your children. There's no development. And above all, you live in abject poverty. So please, don't sell your votes.
Thank you very much. Don't sell your votes. And politicians, please don't buy votes, because that is what we call vote trading. But from the INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner in the state, in the clip, she told us that the agencies responsible, ICPC, EFCC, and the rest, they are already trying to make sure that that doesn't take place. And we are taking them by their words. That is the size of political update today. I must sincerely thank my guest, the National Organizing Secretary of IPAC, that is Inter-Party Advisory Council, Mr. Martins. Thanks for making it, even with the shortest notice.
Thanks for having me. Thanks.
So, hope to see you again on Tuesday. And we pray that edition we're going to be a review of the Ondo governorship election, all things being equal. Have a productive weekend.